What up, everybody? This is the Andre Duke Show. Got a special guest coming on today, uh, Mr. Kris Drew from Menace to Sports. Going to talk a little college football, a little recruiting, and whatever you guys want to talk about. So, without further ado, Kris, if you hit that knock button, I can let you in and we can get it going. Get my laptop up. Yep, you just hit that knock button, Kris. So we're going to be talking mainly Ohio State and a lot of the recruiting going on. So that is what it is. But how about them Nuggets bouncing back off the road? Denver got it going. I don't know if they'll win the second one, but they might. I don't know. It'll be tough for them to take another one in Miami. So, yep, just waiting on our guest here. Kris has just got to hit that knock button and we are in. And then that's what it is. So give Kris a few minutes here and he'll be with us. A lot of hype around Coach Prime. I think that's an interesting topic. Not a lot of people know what Colorado is or what Colorado is going to be. We shall see. Some people are optimistic, think they're going to win 7-8 games. I don't think so. I think 5 is a good total for them. Although I think, depending upon how well they play Nebraska, it is going to tell how that season will go early. But I just don't see them coming out and beating TCU right off the rip. That's just my opinion. Some people think that they're going to be great. We shall see. And if you guys are wondering, we live on a busy road here in the greater Fort Wayne area, and it is, if you're hearing the traffic in the background, to kick off the recruiting, that Sammy Brown kid, it would have been nice if Ohio State could have got him, but he is going to play with Dabo in the Cousins. Don't know how that's going to turn out. Also, Stanley Cup Finals tonight. Didn't bet on that because I don't watch hockey, and hockey is what it is. But going down the recruiting, I mean, looking at the network that shall not be named, but I'm shocked that the Raiola kid is a Georgia Bulldog. But then again, I'm not really shocked though. I mean, he just kept flip-flopping every now and then. Oh, I got a knock. Without further ado, we're bringing in Kris Drew. Give him a second for him to come in. Been a long time coming for this. Oh, what's up?
What's going on, brother?
Oh man, Dublin's very own. Uh, how how are you doing, man? You doing
Real
good?
good, real good. I just got done working out, eating, doing all that good stuff. Kicking it, getting ready for tomorrow's show too. But happy to join. And this is a really cool platform. I'm a big fan of it. It's set up really nicely.
Yeah. I was looking around. I was shopping around platforms, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, because of everything that YouTube is and what YouTube does, this is one of the main reasons why I decided to come on over here. And then, like I have an interview with you, I could put that on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then, just trying to build a fan base. But I was looking at, the recruits on the network that, shall not be named, aka the Evil Empire, aka that's what it is. I forgot to send the audience link to Zach, but Zach's doing 100,000 different things.
100 million things. One of the busiest dudes I've ever talked to.
He's probably saving a cat out of a tree right now,
Probably
to be honest.
like good dude, generally good dude too.
But yeah, that's good. That's good, man. How was the move down there? How was that?
It was good. It's funny because I am someone who really doesn't have a lot of stuff. I don't keep a lot of stuff in terms of physical stuff, but I put in. So there was a situation in my old job actually that led to me like being absolutely done. So I put in my 1 month's notice, and I called it a retirement. I said there'll be no mention of me quitting. It's not what this is. They asked me what I was going to do afterwards. I didn't tell a soul. Kept this really a secret. And then my last day was, I believe, a Wednesday at work. And then my car was already packed. So as soon as my car got packed, the next morning, I just drove to my granddad's house in Columbus. And then I was in studio live with Zach and really got it going from there. So I got to Dublin like 9 a.m. and had my first show in the city at 11. Really no real plan, or excuse me, 12. No real plan, but got it going. And then I ended up looking around, seeing if I could get a place because my grandfather wanted to sell his house. So I got this place I'm at now, right by Urban's, kind of in the city. So, I mean, it was a good move. It was a cool move. A lot of work, a lot of effort went into kind of the work side of it, not so much the move side because it was kind of pretty seamless. Because I don't have a lot of stuff. My mom was really kind enough to let me keep 100 pairs of my shoes at her house, so I didn't have to transport shoes.
Yeah. The shoes. That's a tough move.
Definitely a tough move. I brought 25 pairs with me.
That's pretty modest.
Yeah, I brought 25 pairs with me. And then I go back to Akron, play every other week, and so I bring 2 pairs with me back to Akron. And then I bring 2, so I just rotate through them. So.
Yeah, got to rotate the stock.
Go rotate.
I
was wearing Thunder Force today. I was feeling real cool.
Yeah, I got those. I wore the I went out earlier today. I took today off of work. Okay. And went out with some people, and we got some tacos at a spot here in Fort Wayne. I wore the infrared 4s. Not desirable, but I like the shoe.
Yeah, no, definitely a hard shoe. I like 4s a lot. I don't have that many pairs. I have just those ones and the white cements, whatever. I can't remember the name. The Oreos, whatever. I can't remember the name. I'm trying to get Black Cat 4s off my bro, but he's not really trying to come off them. But that's one of my favorite shoes. But really, like I don't have that many pairs of 4s. I mostly have like SBs and Dunks. I have some 7s that I like. My favorite shoe that I haven't worn yet is my Bordeaux 6s. Huge fan of that shoe. Loved that shoe for a long, long time. I think it's super underrated. So yeah, I'm still collecting a little bit here and there, but I've definitely slowed down from what I used to, just because I'm kind of focused on other things. Trying to build up a studio back in Akron so I can go back to up and forth. So I've been trying to save some money, but I love my Bordeaux 6s. I haven't worn them yet though, Duke. I want to wear them soon, but I have not broken them out yet. I don't know what to wear them with.
Yeah, I got funny story that because I got a pair of Black Cats, and you'll love this. This is before I found your and Zach's platform. I went to the mall as soon as they opened the mall in Fort Wayne, and Foot Locker opened, and they had got a shipment of them, and I bought them in store for retail.
Oh, a retail pull for Black Cat 4s is crazy. That should goes for what, like 600 now or even more?
Yeah, I think the last, because I wear 10.5.
Okay.
So, I mean, anytime it's for me, it is expensive.
Yeah,
As hell.
I wear an 11.5, 12. So yeah. Ooh, so like Black Cat 12 my size, StockX, you're looking at like $1,100.
Yep.
Brutal.
Got them sitting in there with the other 4s. A pair that I just broke out, I had got for retail was the Why So Sads Dunks.
That's crazy. That's
crazy. Got them. I got my barber's actually my shoe plug. Shout out Donnie. He hooks me up. He got me a pair of mochas for under $500.
That's also a steal. Mocha is an all-time great shoe. All-time great shoe. I don't have that many pairs of Jordan 1. So I have like the old like Sports Illustrated edition shooting star ones that I think are super underrated, but they've been skated, so they're pretty beat up. So that's like my winter beater. But nah, dude, I love shoes. I go on and on. I've been grabbing Babes lately a lot. Like I love Babes. I don't have any right next to me, but no, I have a couple really nice pairs of Babes. And then I found this artist that custom made these like a Babe low, but it's like Doom. It's like if the SB Doom was a Babe shoe, he custom made it. It's crazy, like crazy
man.
I've ever held. I'm scared to wear it. I've worn it twice. They're a little too big, which is unfortunate. But obviously, like when you get guys making custom shoes, sometimes the sizing gets a little messed up, just kind of as part of the process. But no, dude, I've loved shoes for a while. That's like one of my interests, one of my passion projects at some point. As I keep podcasting, that's what I consider myself, is to have a shoe podcast of some sort. I think I can do a good enough job with it and just kind of express the love I have for certain shoes, you know.
Yeah, when I was down for the Menace party, I went to the mall, and man, them guys in there are taxing crazy, that shoe store they got in there. But I mean, that's the market value.
They're taxing, bro. I was not even rocking with it at all. They're taxing too much. I buy shoes back home in Akron, and then I got 2 plugs, one with Unknown, and then one with this other dude that I just met, and he can give me most stuff for retail. So that's kind of how I'm moving right now. But bro, paying retail is a pain. So that's why I started moving to get in the Babes, because I have a guy that is pretty plugged up on that side, so I can get them pretty easily. And Babes, value-wise, kind of do rival some of the SBs. So
yeah, and you know, for me, like I got my Thunder 4s for $260. That's $60 over
retail.
Like retail, and to me, I don't mind paying that, just for the simple fact of that guy's got to go do the legwork, and he, brings them to me, and I mean, an extra $60 because you could pay StockX prices, which is
astronomical. You get the price, the fee, the double fee, the shipping. It's a pain, and you got to wait too. Yeah, no, definitely hear you on that one.
And I got the notification that my Menace hat finally shipped today.
Yeah, got it going. I think I was I should have shipped yesterday, but I finally got just about everything out. It was a way longer process than I wanted it to be, but now I know. I kind of learned a lot, dealing with manufacturers and like how to do things. So next time won't be as bad, I don't think.
And I had talked to you previously about doing a show and the writing and everything. People don't understand. They have no idea the time, the money aspect of it, just everything that goes into putting a show together.
Yeah, I consider my pen the best pen in media currently, like in sports media. I think I have the best pen. And when I say that, at first, like people kind of squawk at it or like don't really understand. But the time, the effort, the direction, the research I go, like I don't think there's anyone else that can do what I do and write hour shows day after day after day. And it's difficult. It took a while for me to get good at. And fortunately for me, like I was doing AM radio at first, and my guy Ray Horner believed in me and gave me a shot. And the first thing he did was kind of throw me to the wolves. So, dude, get this. He gave me a solo show every Saturday, and the solo show was two segments long. One was 22 minutes, one was 19 minutes. And you had to talk through the entire thing. No callers, no interviews, none of that. How can you make it a good show? How can you be entertaining for those windows? And how can you write a show that from start to finish has every transition built in, has every flow built in, and then can you do it live? And so I really got put in the pressure cooker on that front and learned a lot and was able to kind of mold myself. That's like my little Karate Kid moment in that. And then once I excelled in that, he gave me a chance to do more shows. And then right after that, in addition to that, he gave me a Sunday morning show or Saturday morning show as well. And so I had Saturday morning from 9 to 10, and then I had Saturday evenings from 5 to 6. Saturday mornings was none of that. It was only interviews. So I had to have 5 or 6 coaches call me, and I had to interview them about their games the day before. And so I had to organize all these coaches, get them on the line, make sure I hit all my time marks, because you do have to worry about commercials and about spots and this and that. And so I had the show where it was all me for all that time, and then the other show where I was asking question after question after question and had to differentiate the questions between these 5 to 6 coaches, and then I had to schedule and run the phones for every day. So, no, people don't get the work that goes into it until they sit down and get in it. It's like when Rick Ross talks about like Kobe, like you weren't with me shooting in the gym. Like you don't get how hard this is until it's time to get it in and get the work done. And it took me a while to get it. It took a while to get it going, dude. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a natural. I wasn't really that elite at it at first, but right now, at least current day, I consider myself one of the ones. And at some point, I'll get some humble pie, I'm sure. But right now, I think I put in enough work to pop my stuff.
Yeah, and on my end of it, I've been, just grinding. I did some shows. I think you were telling me about my first 10 to 15 shows are going to be awful.
It's gonna be rough. It's so rough to get going. It's like learning how to walk.
Yeah, because it's so totally different, and like I've been, trying to blast it out on Twitter and put it on, various social media platforms, like, trying to attract people to come over is absolutely tough. But I'm gonna put this interview on YouTube because I feel like, you do the show with Zach and all that, and a lot of people don't ever, they know about Zach, and I feel like people don't really know that much about, getting to ask you questions.
Yeah, I'm more of an enigma in the world than Zach. Zach's life has been so very public for so long now. Mine is not. My life is really simple. My life is not blasted out publicly. Because I came up more on the writing side of it, while Zach on the other side of it was like in public eye. Yeah. So no, people, I try to offer as much as I can, but I also know that on Menace to Sports in particular, and I can acknowledge this, Zach is the star. Zach is a superstar in his own right. The reason I was willing to bet my entire radio career on Zach is because I see a rare talent, I see a rare ability, I see a rare comfort in front of a camera from someone who wasn't trained for years like I was. To me, I think he's incredibly talented, one of the 5 best personalities in the whole circuit right now, and he's got tremendous upside. So I'm excited about Zach, but that does mean a lot to you because obviously, because Zach is all of those things, a lot of times I don't really get hit up that often. And I do think I have a good amount to offer in terms of like the game of media itself. As I'm still kind of learning and flowing about like attracting audience and growing and being able to communicate with people in the scope while still making the show about Zach.
And Zach has that. He's got that coaching pedigree. He's got, he knows these guys on a personal level, and I feel like it's almost a disservice whenever even JB's show or your guys' show is not Pat McAfee, but I feel that the content that a Menace to Sports and that in JB's show offers better content than whatever the fuck that evil Empire Network is putting out, because they have people in their ear telling them, say this, say that, do this, do that. You can't say this, and there's too many roles, and I think that's why a lot of guys are jumping off of the major networks.
Yeah, the more extreme.
Yes, and I feel what you guys are doing, Zach, and the platform that you guys are putting together is so much. It's not about, I'm going to sit up here and tell you we're right about, I'm right, you're wrong. No, it's, hey, join it. Come to our platform, and I'm going to take the time out, and I'm going to put up a coach's film breakdown, and I'm going to teach you the game. So whatever you're seeing on the other network is horse shit. I'm going to be able to dispute that.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is with me is I go out and, whenever I go out and I hear somebody throw a take out there about, Arch Manning's the next great, and break it down even further. Broderick Jones, Steeler fans all over Twitter were like, this guy he's a cornerstone. No, he's not. I seen it on the breakdown. The guy's shitty. The guy's.
You're right, and like that's to me what makes Zach so valuable, is that over there at the Evil Empire, as you call them, it's more about, this is the take, believe it. With Zach, it's okay. Let's unpack this. I want to invite you to the take. You that that's the take. It's like, here's the take. Learn about it. See why. This is my thought process step by step, and this is my football acumen to back it up. And I think that's so important for sports media, because for a while, networks like the main ones should have been platforms of not just entertainment, but also of knowledge gaining and education. Every other network kind of in the news verse, the number one goal until about 6 or 7 years ago was to educate, except for the sports networks. And so now that Zach is in this place where he can A, educate, B, have an entertaining show, and 3, make people laugh, I think that really the success that we have is just the tip of the iceberg, and a chance for major growth moving forward is because we have those 3 things every single day for an hour. And that's why I think it's a great escape. And for me as a show writer, it makes my job so easy, because I don't have to shy away from things, because I know Zach is intelligent enough and good enough with delivery that he'll grab each of those things and bring them to you in a palatable way that's entertaining, that's funny, that's captivating, and means something. And again, when you have those 4 things with someone that talented, the sky's the limit, and it will continue to take power away from the Evil Empire. And then what happens when the Evil Empire feels power being taken away? They go sign the Pat McAfees of the world, because they now understand, I can't groom talent here. The talent's there, and the talent doesn't want to come here because of the way we operate within certain confines. So that's kind of what I believe, and why I'm so passionate about the Menace to Sports platform. And moving forward, I'm really excited about the growth, and really excited about Zach's growth as he kind of becomes even more talented as kind of we get this going. I mean, again, this is a guy that was a coach his whole life. Like, it wasn't about entertaining. For me, being in media has been kind of what I've seen. So I've seen people go through the reps and get better. And it takes about 5, 6, 7 years for guys to like hit a level where it's okay, that's the man. Zach is the man right now, and we're 2 years in. So again, I'm really excited for him.
And with that, a big thing for me is what, sucked me into your guys' platform. It was, hey, we have this group chat for gambling, and we have professional handicappers.
You do.
Like today, Mensa, the sweep.
Sweep. Dude, that's 3 sweeps in the last 4 days.
I mean,
he's unbelievable. He's an unbelievable mind. He builds a model. He sticks to the model and just pumps winners. He does a really good job.
I mean that in itself pays for the entire platform. I'm gonna go out here. Zach put it up on the show. You know, whenever I put the disclosure out there about the big plays that Sharp had for the bowl games. I'm not gonna tell people what it is. They got to subscribe for that. And it paid for so much of it. Paid for this studio. It paid for birthday parties. It's paying for another birthday party.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
I mean, $11K in 1 month.
Yeah.
You can't argue with that.
Can't argue with it. I mean, he caught absolute fire.
And for you guys, I mean, that's just one entity of what the platform brings, and that's not even talking about the group chat on Saturday afternoon. I have to pause my notifications because you got everybody talking shit. It's just
crazy.
And that is something that brings a different element because I've met people from your platform that we talk every day.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's the party, like having the party on New Year's Eve, like getting a chance to kind of be around everybody was cool too. No, I mean, the platform was like a spider, man. It's like the main show is the body, and then we got the 8 legs. Like they're out there, we're walking and we're getting stronger. So I love the group chat. Most of the time I just read it, but there's some funny guys in there for real. And those game days get crazy, bro. And so here we go. So during game days, I run the social media stuff as well on game days. And as all the games are going on, I'm in front of my computer screens, and I'm also cutting up highlights live during the game and posting on our Twitter. And so, like, as this is all going on, I'm getting like 35 messages a minute on Swag. I'm getting all these messages on Twitter, getting added on Twitter, and I'm trying to cut up highlights and post them and kind of keep the engagements up on all fronts. So just yeah.
And I think something that I'm going to do with this platform is, even though I can't show the game, I'm going to try to do a little commentary on the game.
No, that's awesome. That's the next meta, in my opinion, is people watching games and giving their own commentary, because I think people are getting tired of the old commentary, especially a select 5 guys. There's some that Zach and I have kind of flirted with a little bit, but I know Zach does like to watch the game with his kids. So that kind of means something to him. But no, I think that's a really good idea, Duke. I really do.
Because I think for Ohio State games, I'm thinking really hard about going live during the games and, trying to attract people over here. But, it's all a process, a lot of touch and go. Like today, I based my whole day whenever you were going to give me the green light on.
Oh, my bad. I've been all over the place today, a little bit scattered.
And, the biggest thing I think people don't understand with doing a show is that you have show stuff and then you have life stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that is a huge big ball of wax, because I was sitting at a restaurant whenever you're like, yeah, does 6:30 sound good? I'm like, waiter, tab, please. I gotta go. And
you could have told me to push it back a little bit. 6:30 is usually just when I finish up my first half of dinner.
I'm just saying, there's construction going on by my house on 69. That's the road I live off. 69. Haha. I was sitting in bumper to bumper traffic at 5:50, and I'm fucking sweating bullets. I'm looking at the news.
I'm not that famous. I will always lay back and relax a little bit. I never have to worry about. You can push back whenever. Usually, like, I get home and settle right around 6:30, just because. So I don't drive during the week, Duke. I walk everywhere.
Yeah, so. You always say on the show, it's like, yeah, it was a nice walk down at Bridge Park today.
Yeah, I don't drive. Well, I did. So I drove today for the first time all week. I had to drive to to drop off a couple things for shipping, but really I don't drive. I live. It's a 5-minute walk to work. It's a 3-minute walk to the gym. Even if I did drive, I would spend more time looking for parking, and parking is a little tricky down here because it is kind of a downtown setting. So really, that's one of the things that kind of, when I've gotten down here, I've been able to really focus on my health and just my mental health as well, because I've lived in Akron my entire life. So along with the show stuff that, requires me to be sharp mentally and to be my very best performative at all times, I found that like making sure my mental health and life is good is the really big component. Because when my mental health slips a little bit, my work slips in the form of I'm not able to bring it every day on the show. That's the one thing that people don't realize. You don't get to have bad days on the show because you're supposed to be everybody's escape, and you can't be everybody's escape if you look drained or sound drained. So that's something that I definitely take to heart. So I can be drained 23 hours of the day. The one I cannot be is that 1 hour, and I find it easier to spend those other hours of the day to make sure that I'm naturally up and with it every day at noon for Menace Sports.
Yeah, the big thing is with the new spot, I'm a little disappointed you didn't bring your 1 square of foam with you.
On 1 square, I did that as like a joke for Zach. He thought he was so annoyed, then it turned into a really funny joke. My 1 little square. It's in my car actually. I might hang it up tomorrow. I won't hang it up tomorrow. Zach will get pissed, but I do have that 1 little foam square.
You should just put it in front of the camera and be like, "Hey, you remember this guy?"
Mm-hmm. Do you remember my guy? He's the one thing that kind of made it with me.
Nah, man. Yeah, that's great that everything on the transition has worked out for you. That's been tremendous. And I will say I didn't write anything. I'm just going
off the cuff. No, that's good. That's a skill, man. Like there's like it's like 2K, bro. It's like you want to be a good slasher, a good shooter, and it's like that with the podcast side. There's something to it about just being good off the cuff. Obviously, I didn't write anything either, but I consider myself like a B+ off the cuff kind of guy. But you're doing well. Like you've been able to really move this interview nicely without writing. So kudos to you, brother.
Other than the various group chats that keep going buzzing, but I haven't watched the show today yet because I've been doing stuff. One thing I do want to ask you about, even though, what do you think this Netflix thing on the Swamp Kings is going to be about? Because Zach talked about it. I want to know because we're close in the same age because I'm 30 and you're what, 27?
26.
26. So them Urban Meyer Florida teams were it growing up back in the day. Absolutely. You can't say they weren't legit. I actually knew someone that worked with Tebow. Everything Zach's ever said about Tebow is spot on. He was corny. People tune him out. I think that it's going to be a disservice when this comes out because Urban's not going to be on there.
No, it doesn't sound like he is. I don't think he would unless it was portrayed in a way that was positive about him. I don't think it is. I think this is going to be more of a hit piece style on Urban Meyer.
I think it's going to be a hit piece style on Urban, and I think it's going to be if you're wondering, just a timeout for a second. If you're wondering, somebody driving by you, it's me. I live on a busy road.
Okay, got you.
I live on a busy road.
I keep looking like I can't because that's the street right there. I'm like, who's flying on the street?
Yeah, it's me. It's totally me because I live on a busy road. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I think it's going to be hit piece style on Urban for sure. Yeah. I don't see how it's not. I think that going into it, the urban aspect, it's followed him. Arrests in, I'm going to call it fuck shit, has followed him. But then again, you can't tell me any program that has came on a successful run like what Urban did at Florida, what Pete Carroll did at USC, what Nick Saban has done at Alabama.
I mean,
In what?
Even
What?
Georgia currently is going
Yep.
through.
Yep. Fuck shit follows winners.
Mm-hmm.
And on a caveat, I know we're talking about Urban, but I think it is a strong disservice what the way they portrayed the Jalen Carter thing, because from what I read on Twitter, him and that O lineman were tight.
Mm-hmm.
And they were boys, and people were trying to turn it into something that it wasn't. I hope he goes out this first year in the league and balls out and shows them, you know what, that's, a guy lost a friend there. And
2 friends.
yeah. And I think that, a lot of times in the media, they want to focus in on the name. They want to focus in on, well, what was this guy doing? But then again, you can look at the collectives out there and say, you just gave a kid a bag. What do you expect to happen? You give a 19-year-old $200K, $500,000, and you don't expect bullshit to happen?
Like, it's like prom every night. Like kids, like on prom, are always doing fuck shit because it's like, damn, like I got mom's keys, like I got mom's car, like I got this amount of money because it's a big deal. It's prom. Now imagine that every single weekend. Like shit's gonna happen. It's so sad though that it cost a young man his life and a young woman her life as well.
Yeah, I also feel that with the NIL deals, how about you put in there, you can't buy a fucking motorcycle, you can't go out and buy a Scat Pack. You're driving a Lincoln Town car back and forth to work.
No, but the Scat Pack's now part of the NIL deals. Like, that is the NIL deal. I mean, we saw the stuff that Ohio State players are getting. Cars.
Oh.
Like, they're getting fast cars. I mean, we even saw Evan Stewart at Texas A&M. Remember, he was driving the garage. So we've seen it a lot, and we knew it was going to happen. Didn't think it would keep happening in Georgia after the incident, but it has. So I don't know.
What?
Tricky.
Even though we're close to the same age, what would young Kris Drew look like if he got handed $200K in a Scat Pack in Akron?
Man, I was devious in Akron when I was poor, so now it'd be a bad deal, man. I was a little demon in my little Honda. But actually, here we go. So I've never gotten a speeding ticket.
Hey,
never gotten a speeding ticket. No, but I would have been a bad deal. It would have been more about, if I was that age, it would have been more about chasing the girls rather than like driving really fast. But no, I would have been definitely on some fuck shit. I mean, I'm still on some fuck shit. I was on fuck shit when I was poor, so I mean, if I had some money, yeah, hell yeah, that's some fuck shit.
Because Kris Drew at 26 couldn't have had a conversation with Kris Drew at 19 with $200K and a Scat Pack. He wouldn't have listened.
No, and the only thing, here we go, the only thing that I think would have stopped me from putting my life in danger like that is that when I was 17, my mom had another kid. And then when I was 18, and then 17, my mom had another kid. And then when I was 19, she had another kid. And then got a divorce. So I became the head of my own household with the babies around. And so I did feel an increased responsibility with them around and kind of watching them grow up. And their dad's not in their life. So I've kind of inherited that father figure role for my siblings. So that may have been those two moments forced me to mature a lot quicker than I think I would have. That might have been the only thing though that would have stopped me from being on that kind of demon behavior in my city.
That's a big step. I didn't even know that about you, Kris.
Yeah. So I mean, it's crazy, bro. Because my little homie Caleb. That's why I go back to Akron as often as I do, because it's just my mom and the two kids now in this really beautiful house in Akron. So I try to go back and spend time with my little brother, especially just because that's like my little man. That feels like my little son almost sometimes, because his dad's not in his life ever, and so I'm there, and so that's where my increased responsibility comes, and that's what bleeds over to this whole menace thing. Like I am anxious to keep working because I want this to be big enough to where at some point, like, my little man can come on board 10, 15 years down the road and learn and pass the keys to him as kind of an entertainer, not entertainer, but a writer. So I think he's going to be a really talented writer. So that's a big part of it. So that may have been the only thing that really stopped me from being super mature, because I was forced to grow up really quickly when those things happen. And that, and plus, like, my college experience was a little bit different too, because when that happened, I ended up living at home, and my mom was actually going to school at the same time I was. So every day I would get back, and 4 days a week I would get back, and my mom would go to school, like the University of Akron. When I got back, I was watching the kids. So that may have been it, but other than that, like, I was definitely on some fuck shit before they were born.
Oh man, that's a trip. I mean, Akron, I've been through there, never hung out there.
Yeah, Akron's wild though, and I fucking love Akron.
Oh man, the Rubber Bowl is one of the big things I remember as a kid. I went. We were passing through on the way to a Steelers game, and we stopped at the Rubber Bowl when it was still active. And like, hey, we went to the Rubber Bowl, man. Like,
Yeah, one of the big things, like, because it's abandoned, is like going there and taking photos in it. But I think they've torn it down since then. I haven't driven past it in a while.
Man. Oh man, you'll have to let me know the next time you're up in Akron if I get some free time.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to start going and shooting some other content like every other weekend starting in July.
Oh man. Because you go up on the weekends, right?
Yep, I have a visual studio that I'm working on down there, so that should be done. And then I spar on the weekends too in Akron. Put the gloves on, put the headgear on, and try to go. I gave about 8 rounds this last weekend. Just long 3-minute rounds, or long 3 rounds. They weren't 3 minutes. Long 3 rounds. The equivalent of like 8 rounds. So I try to throw hands every weekend. Man,
all these people coming at you in the chat with the painted fingernails and
it's comedy to me, man. It's comedy. It's funny because, like, I know that, like, so that's like my character is like the more feminine or like more fruity guy, but it's like people see me in person, like I work out every day, twice a day. I run. I consider myself real strong. I try to push as much weight as possible. I hoop every Monday as well, just in my workouts. I feel like a plus athlete, and then I throw hands on the weekends. Like I get in there, headgear, mouthpiece, and we box and we hit each other for real. We throw bombs, and fight at distance and play defense and all that and everything. And then I watch boxing. You know that. Like, I'm a huge boxing fan. Honestly, like, people don't know this. I like boxing more than football. The issue with it is there isn't enough good boxing fights because guys don't want to fight each other anymore. And it's starting to kind of turn and change. But I'm really into boxing. So.
That's some good content right there, because I bet we could do a rough and rowdy, get some people.
Yeah, so I want to shoot stuff like that at this building that I have. So that's one of the things I'm working on and doing, starting in July. Getting content like that is kind of an intro for a boxing podcast that I want to launch. So that's the current project that I'm really excited about. I haven't really told many people about that, but I'm kind of getting it going, laying the groundwork, seeing what I can do. And it's nice that, like, Zach and I have built the YouTube channel up a good amount to where I can just drop it on there and see what it does.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have been killing it on that, and man, that would be interesting. Just put a casting call out for in the Slack chat, and just
throw hands in Akron.
Yeah,
bring your own. I got headgear and gloves. You just got to bring your own mouthpiece.
Oh man, we could settle a lot of beef in the Slack chat that way.
A lot of beef.
And then put it on the YouTube channel.
I doubt anybody would show up, though, to be honest.
Oh yeah. We got a lot of keyboard warriors, but they're there for it.
Yeah.
They're there for it, and I mean, the biggest thing is that it's a testament on your and Zach's platform for what you guys do every day, bringing in other things that aren't college football.
Mm.
because you guys are basically live every day, Monday through Friday. And I am going to throw a caveat out there. Man, I was lost as hell when you guys canceled the show yesterday.
Bro, me too. I need to do shows. I was so confused about what to do with my day, and I don't really drink that often ever. I got done with everything in my day by 11:30 because I got to studio at 7:40. Was done with everything by 11:30. Didn't know what to do. Didn't know what to do. And he called me at around 9:30. He was like, "Yeah, I gotta cancel the show. I'm so sorry." Da, da, da. I'm like, "All right, like that's cool." Da, da, da. Did all my stuff. I'm looking around like, "Holy smokes!" So I worked out 3 times. I drank. I didn't know what to do. I was lost.
Yeah, that's tough because normally with the new shift that I'm on, my lunch break is right there to where it's like, all right, I'm gonna hop in the show, watch the show, lunch is over. I mean, you guys are at a great time right there, right at noon.
Great.
Everybody can, peep the show and just check it out. But yeah, trying to I'm gonna do a way back pivot, but Swamp Kings, I mean, I'm sure you've heard tons of stories um, about the Pouncey twins and Aaron Hernandez and me being an outsider looking in, not knowing hardly any insider knowledge. I feel that what happened with Aaron Hernandez is not conducive to the person he was at Florida. And I feel that it's a tragedy to a certain extent, but he decided to kill people. And at that point, there's no going back.
Right. I agree.
And they did examine his brain. And I don't think football is. If you hear something yelling in the background, that's my son.
Oh, no worries, brother. I can't really hear it.
He's going wild in there right now. So, but I feel that Aaron Hernandez is a one of many that from 05 to 1990 you didn't hear about. Just not on the murder front, but just a guy that was a great talent that you never heard of to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm. I can definitely feel that. Zach knew Aaron pretty well because Aaron was good enough to work out with the receivers. So he's got a lot of stories. I mean, Aaron had Thanksgiving dinner with Zach and his grandmother. Like that's kind of how close they were. They were good, and obviously what happened was an absolute tragedy. Obviously, people lost their lives. Obviously, he lost his life as well. He took his own life. I do worry though about Swamp Kings because I think it'll be kind of angled from the view Urban Meyer would do anything to win rather than Urban Meyer would do anything to try to protect these kids. And that's where I think they're going to miss the ball, generally speaking. So,
and I feel that a lot of times that they totally miss the ball on hit pieces because I almost feel like if you watched Miami, the U part 1 and 2, yeah. I almost feel like that was a hit piece to a certain extent. I mean, it showed the Snellenberger building it, then Jimmy Johnson, and then Larry Coker being Larry Coker, which was awful, but that's another.
Larry being Larry.
I just feel like they talked about all the stuff that they did, and they kind of, to a certain extent, glorified it. But then again, I feel that the public doesn't realize who the people they are that they're dealing with, because you're taking, somebody, from Dade County that grew up in the bad part of town, and you inject money into their pocket and you put them into a social construct that they're not used to, and they're going to do fuck shit. And I feel like, if you have guys that are from Urban Meyer when he was in Gainesville to when he was at Ohio State, he brought guys in that were on fuck shit. And
Definitely less though at Ohio State. Definitely less at Ohio State.
But I feel like he did a better job at Ohio State than what he did at Florida.
Yeah, well, Zach told me that one of the things that he got everybody together with when he got to Ohio State was like really focusing on high character kids coming in. That's not something that was even part of the curriculum when they were down there in Florida. It was just about talent. And we'll deal with everything else. But at Ohio State, at least the way Zach phrased it, it was a lot about high character kids, which is why you hear the stuff now about like a certain type of kid Ohio State wants.
Yeah, and I feel like it's almost like kind of full circle that, Ryan Day was down at
Florida.
And then he's now the head coach at Ohio State.
Him, Justin Fry, Zach, we're all down there at Florida together.
And not to put you on the spot at all, but I think it's funny that because I read the names in those chats, and they're prominent people that watch your show, like coaches and stuff that watch your guys' show because of the way that because that's the big thing. I'll hop in the show and I'll fast forward it all the way back and just read the comments, and I'll hear somebody have a take on something in the chat and be like, you coach college football because you're low-key arguing with somebody. Not to put you on the spot, but I know some guys watch your guys' show.
Yeah, we got a couple Power 5 coaches, a couple head coaches that watch the show. I know a Pac-12 head coach is a fan of the show. There's a good amount of ACC coaches that are fans of the show. There's a couple Big Ten head coaches that listen to the show. A couple Big Ten East head coaches, and other coaches listen. Yeah. Can't put them out there.
Nope.
But we got a couple of big time position coaches down there in the Big 12 too. Yes, yeah. And a couple analysts, man. A couple analysts out there in the world. A couple people that hit us up every now and again. Two from Fox. One from the Evil Empire.
Yeah.
We got some dudes. We got some fans.
And the crazy thing is that when you guys have that type of reach, the thing for me is with this show, if I reach 2,500 people, but as long as you have people in the industry that respect what you do, is the main thing, is what I'm trying to do, because
people in the industry don't respect numbers, they respect how you go about things, and that's super important.
Yeah, and I feel like, because I knew from the rip, there was one show in particular that you just stopped the show and said, we don't fucking divulge who our sources are.
Yeah.
And then that, made me click a little bit, and I rewound the show and just started reading. I'm like, okay, you coach big time. You coach, somewhere. I don't know where. I'm not going to put you on blast, but.
I got you. Nah, people always try to figure out where our sources are from. And that's the cool thing about sources, is that we're not going to tell you.
And, I know some people, not to the level of you guys, but it's funny, transition into the transfer portal. There's somebody that I know that has a kid that's getting recruited right now in college basketball. He's a Power 5 kid, and he's being told by multiple conferences, multiple coaches that, hey, we're going to wait until the next transfer portal window if we're going to offer you. That's what they're telling these high school kids right now.
I have heard that is what's going down. I have heard that is how people are moving because of how many quality basketball players hit the portal during those windows.
And I know you follow recruiting. You can tell me, you've probably forgotten more about college football recruiting in general than I've ever studied. His dad played mid-major basketball, and he rolled out an idea to me. He said, I thought it would have been better if they were going to try a little bit with the portal and then wait 5 to 10 years and then roll out NIL, or vice versa.
Yeah, it came out too much together. It was too much at one time.
That's what he was telling me, because of the school he played at. He had a conversation with the athletic director, and one of their top kids, went to the coach and said, "Hey, I'm going to enter the portal." And he said, "What are they offering you?" And it was 6 figures in a car and, some other endorsements. And he walked into the AD's office and said, "What do you want me to do?" He said, I can beg him to stay, but he ain't staying." It was at a mid-major school in Ohio.
Yeah, that's been happening a good amount. It's been happening a good amount. I mean, North Dakota State just had a basketball player.
Yep.
In the portal.
Yep.
One of the best players in the country.
Yes, he is.
He was being tampered with. I know at least 3 schools that tampered hard, and I'm sure the coach had the same conversation. Like, I can't beg you to stay. You're 6'10". You're going to be an NBA player at some point. Go. So.
And that, I think it's wild that they are allowing these coaches to tamper, and that they're not doing anything with the tampering. But also, because if you look at the Dylan Raiola situation, how is there no tampering whatsoever? I know that you probably know some stuff. I'm not asking you about that, but from an outsider looking in, you commit to Ohio State, and then you flip to Nebraska, and then you flip to Georgia, and then other kids are recruiting to Georgia. I mean, as anybody, you can't mean to tell me that he ain't picking up the phone to the number 4 prospect saying, "Come to Georgia. We're going to win it all. Let's keep the train rolling."
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, no, he is. He's calling everybody. So as a recruit, you can call, and it's not tampering. But no, he's been on the phone with a lot of people, and I heard that Matt Stafford is helping brokering some deals down there for him, NIL-wise, down there in Georgia. And I also heard a little rumor that he is transferring to Buford potentially. Transferring high schools down there in Georgia. So Dylan Raiola is kind of this cycle's version of Quinn Ewers. It's Quinn Ewers-esque. The story's evolved a little bit, but it's about NIL. It's not about development anymore. And it's about a kid who wants bargaining power with him and his family, and they're getting that. So, excuse me. So, I mean, Dylan. This recruitment's not over. I still think he ends up in Nebraska, but I know Georgia has done a really good job. I don't think he'll stay committed there as long as they have that other kid committed at quarterback. I don't know if you know they've got 2 quarterbacks committed.
Yeah. So
Pug from Massachusetts, a good quarterback, has an Ohio State offer as well. Ryan Day did offer him. And so Pug and him are going to go to Elite 11 together, and we're going to see who's better. And I think that could lead to someone decommitting from the class. And I think it's likely Dylan, because I don't think Pug's going to back down.
Wow, that would, because I'm assuming Ohio State pulled their offer.
Yeah.
Where does Raiola end up then?
I think Nebraska, but Georgia people are swearing it's going to be Georgia. I think it's going to get messy, bro, when Pug, who's committed to Georgia as a quarterback, is competing with Dylan. And if Pug outperforms him and you're Dylan, what do you like? You can't stay in the class. You can't. Like, you didn't want to be the class behind Lincoln Kimeholtz, and yet you're telling me you want to be in the same class as Pug. Like, not a chance. Not a chance.
I mean, I watched that film breakdown. I know Zach calls him West Dakota, but I mean, I think that guy's gonna be good.
I think he's electric, bro. I think he's really electric. I mean, and a bigger kid, bro, like 6'3", 195, has a verified 40-inch vertical, runs around in the 4.5s, 4.6s, was a starting corner for them, also played safety. And their state title game, the running back got hurt. He rushed for over 200 yards and played quarterback as well at a high clip. I mean, had a pick 6 in the state title. Like, the kid's a gamer, bro. He also was the baseball player of the year and also basketball player of the year in South Dakota. So just a unique athlete with unique traits, unique upside, and someone who I'm really excited about moving forward.
Yeah. I guess we could end, or if you have more time, or I don't know what you got going on.
I'm about to wind it down here pretty soon.
I guess this will be a brass tacks Ohio State question. It's going to be a two-parter.
Bet.
Does Julian Fleming figure it out?
I have no fucking clue. I don't have a clue, man. Like, for me, I heard the light bulb went on last year, but I'm not sure what he's really good at, right? Like, with Marv, I know hands, contested catches, he's really good at that. With Emeka, I know he's got good burst, short area quickness, similar to KJ Hill, and is good after the catch. Like, I know that. With Jaden Ballard, I know that he's got elite deep speed. What does Julian Fleming do elite? And I don't think it's anything, and I also think he has below average ball skills. I think he has below average ball skills and below average hips. And so that does worry me. But with that being said, if he can get better with the ball in his hands after the catch, I think that could be it. The issue is I just haven't seen it yet. And usually if you're the number one recruit in the country, number one wide receiver in the country, you're at Ohio State, you're a wide receiver, you should be 3 and gone or something's wrong. So we'll see. I mean, he's got to stay healthy first off. But if I had to bet on it, I would say we get a similar player that we got last year.
I'm going to disagree a little bit.
Okay.
Just on the simple fact of that I think Marv and Emeka are going to play on the outside.
You think Emeka's not going to move in the slot?
No, I think they put Fleming in the slot. And I think Julian Fleming, if he can get, them short bubbles, and if we can get some perimeter blocking from whoever is out there, not to point any fingers, don't know if anybody major is going to watch this, but I'm not going to name drop, from the wide receiver room, if we can get some people to fucking block on the perimeter, I feel Julian Fleming could have a 1,000-yard season in the slot.
Okay.
Because you can hide him with the below average hips and the ball skills as long as he's matched up on backers and safeties, because I feel like he could cook them on, if they run like a post seam, Fleming's he's gonna cook whoever is there, because I do believe the kid can run. If
he's got physical tools. He's definitely got physical tools.
And I think if he plays really well in the slot, he could be a first-round draft pick. And the last question, this will be the be-all, end-all. Does Jim Knowles get it fixed?
I think so. I have a lot of faith in this year's Ohio State defense. I think Igbinosun being there is an upgrade. I think the linebacker play will be as good as last year, which I will take. I think the defensive line will be so good to the point where Jim Knowles doesn't have to blitz to get pressure. And I think if you can not blitz and generate pressure, I think that saves your back end a lot, because that's eyes on the football. I think this will be a legit top 10 defense in the country, and I'm really excited to see him. I'm really excited to see him. That's it.
I can't argue that. And then a bonus question, just a bonus question. Lola Bunny, where are we at on that front?
We love Lola, man. Lola's good money around here. We love Lola. You can call me anytime.
Oh man, Kris, I appreciate you coming on. You didn't have to.
No, thank you for the invite, man. I love work. I love talking. Clearly, I talk for a living. So.
I think we went way past longer than I thought it was going to be.
It felt good though. It felt good all the way through.
Yeah, so hopefully maybe next time I have you on, I can write some, formative questions. So
I'm excited to watch you grow and improve at this, man. I'm really excited. You're a natural speaker, so this is good.
I try, man. I just, work for a living. I'm trying to get it blown up. I guess the biggest thing in parting is that I appreciate you coming on, and
Thank you.
really means a lot, Kris. And I'm gonna put this on my YouTube channel. Don't know
Yeah,
how many
please
views
do.
it'll get.
Well, no, I'll throw it up. I'll throw it up. And try to get some people out here for sure.
And because it takes a little bit for the recording to come through. So,
Yeah, no, I got you.
and I can send it to you if you feel like there's something you want to put up on your personal page or whatever. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, yeah. Let me. Well, once you put it on YouTube, I might cut some stuff up and throw it on my Twitter.
All right, Kris. I'm gonna take it to the green screen, and then that shall be it, my guy.
Menace out.
Have a good one, Kris.
Yeah, you too, brother.